Fancy a bit of Barry?
I mean, that would be magnificent, wouldn't it? The Walrus of Love.
57.
Just got to pick one. Well, like you say, Daryl Gurney hasn't picked up a European Tour Championship yet.
180!
Who's to say this won't be the day? He's got someone in his way who knows how to scrap. And yesterday, that game he had with Richie Burnett was a trick. And Richie had him.
100.
Strange old game, wasn't it? Went all the way to a last leg decider. Webster was averaging, I mean, he's averaging more than through, but he nearly threw it away. He missed starts for a 5-2 lead, a 5-3 lead, a 5-4 lead. Managed to have 5-4 down, had to win the last two legs and got the job done, but my word, he cut it close.
24.
Has a way of getting through matches like that, though, Darren Webster.
Wait, it's fair to say he didn't used to.
100.
He'd have lost that game a few years ago, but he's a different player nowadays. Single 17, double top to hold throw. And that 180 from Darren Webster is massive. It applied the pressure and it's given him a chance of a break of throw.
Well, tops was not his friend yesterday. Will it be today?
40.
And that's the exact spot he was hitting yesterday. About a centimetre too high. So he's got to be able to adjust in moments like that. And Gurney shouldn't really miss this.
Well, he shouldn't.
He's shot in the first leg. Daryl Gurney.
Maybe that second dart was a 4. It would just bounce out because it allowed the bed to stay free. Another 180 for Webster. Never a doubt in my mind.
3 180s already in this match. We could well see more.
60.
Dan Webster does hit a fair few, but super chinny. When he gets his eye in on that treble 20,
100.
it just seems inevitable that you're going to be seeing a maximum, but he's not quite got the range just yet.
150.
He's doing that a lot more recently, Daryl Gurney, where he's rushing it because he thinks he's got the line. And look, it worked there. I'm not a fan, I've got to say. I think just do everything the same.
150.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And we saw that a lot on Wednesday when we played Gary Anderson. That game was it Thursday? We played Gary Anderson.
That was no.
Aaron, you require 82.
Whatever day it was.
The double header in Rotterdam.
So many 180s, and he started doing that a lot, and I was perplexed a bit.
42.
It's almost like he's just sort of not giving each dart the same level of attention. He is with this one, just trying to figure out what he's got to leave.
96.
He can't leave a finish. So Webster, can he find his range on tops? And it's high again. Good adjustment though.
Darren Webster. Third leg, Daryl shoots right back.
You mentioned that Pro Tour final. That may be in the mind of Darren Webster, and he's saying to himself, you know what?
60.
Got him that day. No, this is a different setting. I know how to beat this guy, and I know how to beat him well. Darren Webster will love the fact that he's a serious game.
Oh, totally.
And he will want to keep it that way. And the only way to keep it that way is to do well today and in the coming weeks. Got to make it here while you've got it, because come the time of year where he won that tournament last year and that 10,000 is under threat, then he's got a difficult job of keeping his seeding.
Well, he's got some in the bank already, because he did make a final
60.
of one of the UK Open qualifiers, just the second event of the year, and was only beaten in that final by Michael Van Gogh. He's just doing he's doing that now. He's consistently getting to the back end of events. Not every event. He's not as consistent as he would like, but he's a guy who, you know, he's 50 years old. I think he's 50 this year. Yeah, he'll turn 50 this summer in June. He's a granddad. He's playing the best darts of his life. He's playing better than he's ever played before. And he says it's because he's got his head right. Oh, ball double 16.
77.
Well, I was about to launch into a tirade about how going for the bullseye second dart there is the wrong shot, but he's hit it anyway and gets the dart at the double. And he is going to come back. So he won't be punished, Darryl Gurney.
It's not a bad double to have. You've got 3 darts in hand. Double 6. Uh-oh.
21.
What do I know?
It's not a bad double to have, but then that happens.
Is he mounting another charge for another big win against Gurney? Gurney, who's played a lot of darts this week. Played a lot of darts this year.
100.
Darren Webster, is he a little bit fresher?
Well, there are plenty of darts players of a similar age to Darren Webster, and with similar levels of experience. You know, been around the game for a long while, and yeah, there are some who get a bit jaded by it. And they're travel here, everywhere. You know, he's not regularly winning tournaments, although he did obviously win that one last year. That was his first in more than a decade in terms of a ranking title. And they get jaded, and yeah, all right, it's good. It's better money than ever, I suppose. And we're playing in front of big crowds, and it's being broadcast all over the world. Darren Webster loves this. He would do this every single day of life. He cannot get enough of playing big darts on big stages against the best players in the world and showing them that he can beat them. Because he might beat Darryl Gurney here. Double 8.
88.
See, the double shot there would have been the wrong shot. Did the smart thing, got the 60, went for the double 8, and he will be back for double 4.
57.
This is for 3-1. It is 3-1. And one of the reasons why I love this sport is because he's got a lot of energy and he's got a lot to give the game. Whenever you speak to Darren Webster, no matter whether he's freshly had his nose broken by a wayward Barnsley supporter, or whether he's just got to the quarterfinals of a World Championships, he's the same type of guy. He does have a lot of passion. He's got a lot of positivity to give as well.
He loves this game, and it is infectious, and it's brilliant to see, because he's been around it for a long while, and it has not dulled his passion for it. He's absolutely hopeless at travelling to European events.
52.
He gets the wrong planes and trains. He ends up 200 miles away from his intended destination. He couldn't even find a car park to get here this weekend, but it doesn't stop him just getting here, because this is what he's after. He spent years and years and years playing this game and wanting to show everybody what he can do. And over the last year and a half, he has done. He's found a way to reach somewhere near his top level and do it on a relatively consistent basis in some of the biggest tournaments in the world, including the World Championship. And he cannot get enough of it. It is fantastic to see.
171.
Oh,
went for the ball.
64.
Very good.
21.
Now Gurney's got to hit this, perhaps. He's got to hit the ball. He does hit the ball.
Fifth leg, Darryl Gurney.
What a beautiful shot.
Fifth leg down to the row first. Game on.
Remember last year when Darren Webster had his luggage lost on the way to a European Tour event, had to get everything new.
100.
Different darts, different trousers.
Did he borrow Whitlock's dart? I can't remember what he did.
I can't remember whose dart he borrowed or whose dart he bought on the stall, but
100.
he won his first game.
He did. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Maybe it was Whitlock's darts. I can't remember. Simon Whitlock is... If I was Simon Whitlock, I wouldn't lend him my darts, because he has battered Whitlock twice, consecutive World Championship. It was his victory over Simon Whitlock
100.
the year before last, which was, at the time, Darren Webster's ever display in his professional career. He absolutely annihilated Whitlock. He averaged more than 100. He barely missed a dart at double. And the Wizard, a former major champion and world finalist in both codes of darts, did not have an answer. 180 number 2 for Darryl Gurney. Leaves himself the 1-2-1.
96.
And he has to go for it again. But he's just taken it out, so just do the same thing again, Darryl. Trouble 17 and ball. Part of the one. Do the same thing again, Darryl. That's what I said.
97.
That'll do. Darren doesn't take the 1-4-3. He's not gonna. But Darryl can't afford to do what he did earlier in the match, which is split 12, split 6s and miss double 3.
Well, he's not going to split 12 with that dart. Oh my days. Two worst darts at double 12 you are unlikely to see this season on the Euro Tour. And then he just pins it last start.
Is that a direct result to splitting the 12s the last time?
Well, you would imagine so with the first one, but the second one, I mean, what was that?
85.
Doesn't really matter anymore. It's in the book.
No,
3-3. He's got the darts back.
140.
This is always going to be a good game for me. Whether Darryl Gurney's a bit jaded from travelling or not. Sometimes you wake up on a Sunday and think, I want this today. He doesn't want to be referred to as one of the best players in the world who's never won a European Tour title. He wants to go one further than he's done before.
Yeah, well, I mean, in terms of, it's Rob Cross and Darryl Gurney, they're the two. In terms of the world rankings, they're the two highest placed players who haven't won one of these titles. And it's probably about time. But the thing is with Gurney, I mean, look, he is incredible.
81.
And you can see that he's completely at home in the Premier League. I think he's been a fantastic addition to the Premier League. Not going to take out the 136, but he is
128.
Fair enough, leaves himself double 4. Look, there is absolutely no question that Darryl Gurney is an elite level player and one of the best players in the world. He's only won 2 titles. 1 Pro Tour and the Grand Prix. I know the Grand Prix is a big one, but it's only 2 titles.
4.
Well, Rob Cross is number 3 in the world right now.
Yeah, he is.
He's only won 1 major. Peter Wright's only won 1 major and he's number 2 in the world.
100.
True. But Peter Wright has picked up. I mean, he won more than 10 titles in a year.
He wanted proof as to how much Super Chin wanted to win this match in this tournament. There it is. Passion, Super Chin. Good to see.
54.
I think Darryl's obviously just become a dad, and he's been at pains to point out, look, he spent a lot of time away from home. He could have just stayed at home these last few weeks. He'd have to go to the Premier League, obviously. But he could have skipped a few of these and spent some time. He's not. He's got a work ethic. He wants to go and play darts, and he's said all through the pregnancy
43.
that darts is my living. Darts is I'm going. I'm going to put food on the table. I've got to go. I've got to travel. I've got to play. He does play a lot. I can't remember the last time Darryl played out of a tournament. I can't remember it. And yeah, all right. Granted, this year is the first year that he's had the Premier League responsibility as well. And maybe if Darryl Gurney is in the Premier League for a number of years to come, and he could well be, he could win the Premier League. It's that good. We might see him pull out of the odd thing here and there. But at the minute, he's playing everything. And it's probably about time that he started winning things like this. If he really wants to be up there with Van Gerwen, Peter Wright, Gary Anderson, the very, very best players in the world, then he's got to start winning more.
And if he does win, then he has an easier option of potentially skipping certain Pro Tours and spending time with his family.
Turn up, win back-to-back Euro Tours, and then have a couple of weeks off. Do it. That's what Van Gerwen does. Now then. Oh, wonderful! That is the visit of a major champion. Crucial time. D.Webster felt like the aggressor in this game. It's been nip and tuck throughout this, but that one visit from Darryl Gurney may well have turned this in his favour, and he's forcing Darren Webster to find 2 breaks of throw to turn this game around. It can be done. We've seen Webster do it on the Euro Tour this year, but it needs to happen right now for the demolition.
It was against Chizzy, that, wasn't it?
It was against Chizzy. It was fantastic. And look, there you go. Darren Webster, higher average overall.
100.
But Darryl Gurney, big visit when it counts. That's what's major champions. That's why Darryl Gurney is an elite player in this game.
Of course, Darryl Gurney's manager, Matt Ward, is a very, very big wrestling fan. I'm very surprised that when Darryl won the Grand Prix, he didn't get him a belt made.
Nobody wants to see Darryl Gurney in spandex jumping off the top rope. Nobody.
That's a very tight 180.
In style, it would appear, Darryl Gurney for a potential 11-darter to close it out 6-3. We have not seen the best of Super Chin today, but my word, there have been little flashes of genius.
71.
He's even disappointed about that.
He will be back. Darren, yet another valiant effort for the little man from Norwich. But it is 3 last 16 exits in a row for the demolition man, because Darryl Gurney has seen him off and he's through to the quarterfinals tonight. Gurney will face either the top player from Spain, Cristo Reyes, or the top player from Austria, Mensur Suljovic. Last night, in the final game, this place nearly exploded when Mensur took to the stage for the first time in his home country since becoming a major champion. We are expecting something similar today. The gentle faces the Spartan in just a couple of minutes' time, but your latest winner is Super Chin, Darryl Gurney.
Well done, Darryl. You made the sign of the cross. I think that's more relief than anything else.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, me and Darren Webster, we've had so many games over the last few years that we've never, ever had a bye game. And I missed 3 darts to double 12, which could have put the game out of reach. Just to stay in front, and then I could have broke him. But as usual, I never like to do it the easy way. I like to do it the hard way. And the 2 darts I had, look, they're so bad, they're up here. And then I went double 12. No, hey, honestly, just to beat Darren. Darren's a great player, great professional, never give us up. And probably most players growing up should model themselves from him. But just glad to get through the next round and play in front of this wonderful crowd once again. And I think, if I win this game, do I play Mensur?
If you win it, provided Mensur beats Cristo. Cristo and Mensur are up next, and you will be playing those in the quarterfinal later on.
Well, if Mensur wins, I think I'm in trouble with this crowd. Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, this crowd, it doesn't matter if we're local or foreign or whatever, but they've turned out to support their local player, which is Mensur Suljovic. And me and Mensur is good friends, and he's a super dart player. And you should all be very, very proud of what Mensur's done in the world of darts.
Definitely emphasise that. Ladies and gentlemen, through to the quarterfinals, Super Chin, Darryl Gurney. And indeed, ladies and gents, our next match will be Cristo Reyes against Mensur Suljovic.